What's going on, everybody? Stefan Martinez, Nicholas Gambaro. We're back from a short, but much
Oh,
needed day off, a break, if you will. Um, this is gonna be a jam-packed show. We got a lot to get into. And let's start off with this. Let's start off with I don't know if you guys have heard. Alan, what's up, buddy? How are you?
What's up, Alan?
Um, former San Diego Charger when they were in San Diego, and Tampa Bay Buccaneer Vincent Jackson passed away today unexpectedly at the age of 38. Authorities are suspecting if it was foul play, if he was, God forbid, if he was murdered. They're going through all the scenarios, but our thoughts and prayers are with his family at this time.
Yes.
And 2021 just hasn't been a good year, man. It feels like we're going through the same motions as 2020, and it sucks. So thoughts and prayers to his family and to Charger and Buccaneer fans across the country and the world. Big Dog, what is up, brother? How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
Could be better, but couldn't we all?
Yeah, same here, brother.
But yeah, man, let's get into it. Let's start with the fairly recent news of JJ Watt, and let's talk about what it could mean for not only the teams that are looking at him, but why the Texans didn't trade him and just chose to release him. Now, first of all, he asked for release of his own free will. He wanted to be released. He wanted to get out of Houston, and he got his wish. But here's my thing, and I'm just talking about strictly from a business standpoint. If you were the Texans, wouldn't you want to try and trade him and gain value back? Because you released him for nothing. You're not getting nothing for him now, and now he can sign wherever he chooses. I just didn't understand that. What do you think about that?
Me neither. Although at this stage in the game, I mean, he's still an awesome player, but he is a bit on the older side. It's not like it's Deshaun Watson, a 25-year-old. So how much really would they have gotten back? I mean, it's possible they could have got multiple, let's say maybe first-round picks back from second round or something like that, but I don't know how much they would have gotten back if they traded for him. What's up, Kayla?
No, I don't blame him at all. I'm just saying it seems like a bad business move from the Texans' part to just release him and not try to get some assets in return, whether it be a second-round pick or even a third-round pick. You could have gotten something to work on your future. And the fact that they just let him go and didn't do anything to kind of get some value back for him, I found that a little bit stunning, to be quite honest with you. But I understand your point of, he is an older guy now, and it might seem as, you rather release him and let him go his separate ways. Plus, he sat down with the McNair family. He did say this is the path that they chose, but
what's up, James?
That's a good point.
That's another thing. I don't think anyone would have took that contract.
I mean, but it's $17 million. Listen, I'm sorry, but these NFL owners, they print money. Whoever signs him is going to have to sign him for more than $17 million anyway.
Yeah, they're cheap, though, these owners.
That makes no sense.
I agree.
Oh, good. They suck. They should get ripped. They suck.
100%. I wish a Jet player went out and did that.
He should rip the organization for not putting players around him and a team around him to make him feel like it's worth staying here. He should rip them. They've been what? They've been garbage for the last 3 or 4 seasons. You should get ripped for being garbage. Absolutely. I have no issues with him saying how he felt, especially when he's been there and you see how they treated Andre Johnson on the way out. You see what they're doing to Deshaun.
Yeah, a lot of their employees, they don't treat them well.
The cap is going down. How much? I don't think it's all that much. I don't think he gets less than 15. If he's gonna be in the area. Probably, I'm just saying, I have no listen, it's bad business. Period. The end. Well, and if they did, because the thing is, I don't think they've even talked to teams about trading for him. I just think they just said, listen, he's not worth it. We're just gonna cut him and we'll see how it transpires from there. It's just bad business, is all I'm saying. But now he gets a fresh start. He's gonna go somewhere where he can win and be on a productive winner.
Mm-hmm.
And now I just want to see where he goes. I think a couple of places are realistic fits. I do think Tampa's an interesting situation. I do think you have a team like, the Chiefs are an interesting situation. I think he looks at some other team, maybe Green Bay. Green Bay seems like a very interesting.
From Wisconsin, and they desperately need defensive help.
Right. So I think those teams are teams that I would look at. And the Josina Anderson of ESPN reported an hour ago that, yes, the Cleveland Browns are going to kick the tires on trying to, see what they can do to get him. However, do I really want to give him that much money? I don't know. Now the Steelers, because he has his brothers there and he has people he's familiar with, and the defense could definitely use a jump start. But
the Steelers, I think, too. I think Tampa Bay is a good possibility, in Green Bay. Those are the three teams I think.
And I'm not closing the door in Kansas City just yet, because Kansas City, they
it's possible.
I'm not closing the door on any of those teams, but I do think the Packers have a leg up because he's from Wisconsin. Going home might appeal to him more than playing on another coast, but that's definitely his free agency now is definitely going to be something that dominates the NFL offseason for sure.
Absolutely. A lot of dramatics. There's a lot with the QB carousel still going on.
Right.
And this NFL season is going to be quite busy.
I mean, it always is a little nutty, but this one feels a little bit more.
Oh, this is.
Because you have quarterbacks, you have defensive players, you have a lot going on. And look, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The one person I don't think gets traded is Deshaun Watson. I don't think the Texans move him. I think they're going to let him wait it out at least for a year or two, because they just gave him a brand new contract in September. So he's the least of the people I think gets traded. Does it mean he can't get traded? No, anything's possible. But I just think with the contract they gave him, I think he's the least likely to get traded. And, the more and more you think about it, I don't think any of these quarterbacks are for sure going to get traded. I know we've been hearing about Carson Wentz for a while, but I don't think they're in a rush to trade him. If they get an offer they want, then they'll do it. The one team that I think would make a quarterback move, but I don't know how, what sense it would make at this point, is the Jets. But I'm thinking, all right, you trade Sam Darnold and you draft a quarterback. Isn't that like going through the same process all over again? Like, if I'm the Jets, I keep Sam, especially because I know I think Deshaun's not on the table for the Jets, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anymore with the Jets, really. I mean, you could trade for him, but yet they're going to want a numerous amount of picks, one or two players at a high level. I mean, Jets don't have superstars, but I mean, maybe like a Quinn Williams and maybe another guy.
Right.
And then you look at a kid like Zach Wilson, who put up really good stats. But again, you got to remember it's BYU. Not
right.
playing against really like amazing competition. No offense, but they're just a fact. And I'm hearing he's a lot of like Sam Darnold, like the same kind of traits. Although people say, yeah, but less turnovers, which, all right, that's an argument. But I don't know. Like, then you might as well just keep Sam. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm hearing Wentz either to the Bears or the Colts. Kimberly Martin of ESPN was talking about on Get Up this morning.
Hmm.
Let's get my charger.
See, the
I
thing-
don't know, man. What do you think about Carson? I don't know. I can see him possibly in Indy. And then Bart Scott, I love you, but he said if Carson Wentz goes to the Bears, they're automatically a Super Bowl team. Nah.
I think that's a little far.
That's irrational.
I think, but
That's a little irrash. Come on now.
Kayla thinks they aren't trading him. That's interesting.
Really? I mean, I guess they want the drama to stay there.
I mean, I don't necessarily think it's that. I think it's a combination of, I don't think he's gotten a fair shake either, to be honest, but that's me. And listen, you're just being biased because you like Nick Foles, which is okay, but if I'm being realistic, he hasn't gotten a fair shake. So,
but he is overrated, though, Carson Wentz.
We don't know what he is because he hasn't gotten a fair shake. We have to see him play. Would I personally trade for him? I don't know, but I do think you got to let it play out a little bit. But admit it. Nick Foles is your boy. Admit it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you're being
a bum.
Yep. See, you're being biased. He's being biased.
What's the truth? Wentz ain't good.
So we're gonna just forget the fact that he almost won the league MVP in his second season. Then.
Yeah, 1 year the guy was good.
1 year, and they won they got to the Super Bowl that year.
Because who brought him there?
No, whoa. They were 11-0 before Wentz got hurt. Don't do that. Then if that's the case, then fire the general manager then. If his beef is exclusively, I'm being serious.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of issues with the GM down there.
If his beef is exclusively with the general manager, and that's the farthest the extent goes with all his issues, then Howie Roseman got to go. Because if it's going to be a choice between your general manager and your quarterback, that makes no that I don't understand that one. That makes no sense to me. If it's all because your general manager, they don't get along and they don't coexist, and it's all a Howie Roseman problem, then Howie Roseman gotta go. He gotta go. I'm sorry, but if that's the extent of all this, then Howie Roseman has to lose his job.
You have to fire the GM along with the coach. You
then you know what? Then there's no reason to talk about them anymore on this show or anywhere else. Because if the owner won't do the right thing and fire the general manager for the sake of his young quarterback,
that's just silly.
If the owner doesn't do the right thing by firing the general manager for the sake of the young quarterback, then we don't need to talk about this anymore.
Right.
So either one of them, either Carson gets traded or the GM gets fired, the Eagles would no longer be talked about on this show unless they're worth something. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to keep going back and forth with this garbage because that's complete garbage. That's like Jets-esque. Oh, well, I'm not going to fire the general manager. Well, I'm sorry, Big Dog and James and all you Jet fans. I didn't mean to take a shot. That wasn't a shot. That was I'm just saying that's lunacy then. Jeffrey Lurie will never fire the GM, but you want him to stay with the same quarterback? What is this? What are we playing? Be a tug of war between the general manager and the quarterback? What? What? Help me here. Big Dog, help me here.
It does sound like a Jet issue. Like you fired Doug Peterson, you had to fire Howie as well. Makes no sense. And there's QB drama, and it's not looking good there if you're an Eagle fan right now.
I mean, yeah, but just even the story of, maybe, nah.
And the whole drama with the last game, and I don't know.
That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. And honestly, that's what I just said. Right. That's what I just said.
Yeah, I still don't think he's that good, but that's just my opinion. Other than that one season, I haven't really seen him do that much. But
yeah, but that's because Foles is your guy, though.
Yeah, but also in general, what has he done? Hasn't done nothing,
bro. Speaking realistically,
Wentz wouldn't have won the Super Bowl that year with the Eagles.
How do you know that?
I just know.
Well, then, fuck it. We could end the show because he's Nick Stradamus then because you know.
I like that nickname. That's a good one.
We could end the show because he knows all.
I wish I did.
You sound like it right now.
But that I know for sure.
All right. We disagree there. We disagree there. All I'll say is we are so quick to get rid of quarterbacks in this day and age. It's crazy. We were talking about trading Daniel Jones after his first year.
Yeah.
We were talking about Sam Darnold in his third year like he's chopped liver. The Eagles are talking about trading who they thought was their franchise QB. I don't get it. Why don't we have patience anymore? Have some patience. Let shit develop. And then we wonder why sports sucks. And then we wonder why sports sucks because we don't have patience in the media, fans. We all want to look at, hey, what's the next tradable piece? Oh, hey, who can we get? Hey, I know that's part of sports, but God, like, come on now.
Especially New York.
But that's why New York is in the position it's in. That's why all our teams suck. Because
football teams anyway.
Listen, that's why the majority of our New York teams suck. And that's the nature of sports. We're willing to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and then we wonder why in 90 years we got no picks. We're all old. Nobody wants to come. Everybody stops caring because it's just everybody's so quick to say, oh, this one sucks. That one sucks. Can we give things some time to develop before we go killing the next person? Or this? And I do it too. I'm a victim. I do it too. Like, honestly, there's been talk on New York radio. Should the Knicks get involved for any of the stars? No, I don't want Bradley Beal. I take Zach LaVine if the price is right, but I'm not trading my future for a disgruntled star who's going to want to use us as leverage anyway to go somewhere else. I'm not doing it. I'm out. I'd finished 8th and get walloped in the playoffs and give these young kids experience. I'm good. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not. And I'm sorry if I'm the Jets, as much as Deshaun Watson appeals to me, 25 in the prime, no, don't give up your picks because then you're going to be sitting there in 6 years with no picks. He's going to be miserable. He's going to want out or he's going to get hurt. And then you're going to be wondering, what the hell did we do?
Either way, the Jets are screwed. I'm telling you right now.
Well, you don't know that, though. Give this general manager and this coach some time to figure it out. I don't think trading for Deshaun Watson is the right move. I don't think so.
I could still see it happening, but it may not. Who knows?
Because
now Woody's back, and you know him. He don't.
It just feels like a very, very. It makes no sense.
I agree with you. You're practically trading away your next.
I want to see what are all. Pat Mahomes just looking like Carson. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Like, and then we put on everything. We put everything on these quarterbacks, but no offensive line help. Some of these wide receivers got butterfingers for hands. What are we doing here? And you guys, you guys need all the help you can get at skill positions.
Yeah.
You can't be. We'll trade a crap load of picks for Deshaun. Nah, don't make no sense. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Listen, fans, I'm sorry. I'm going to say this. Fans, if you get pissed off at us, we love you anyway. You get pissed off at me, send me hate tweets at Stephen3CM or hit me up on Facebook. Do whatever you got to do. But fans, I've been watching too much Sopranos. Fans are the reason why sports sucks. And I'm going to tell you why. Because back in Big Dog's Big Dog's father, these teams all stood together for 90 years. Nobody got traded. Nobody left. They built camaraderie. Big Dog, you know the story. The 80s Islanders, they were together 90 years.
Yeah, like 14 of those guys won all 4 cups in the 80s.
And now we're so quick to turn it over. Hey, why? Why? Like the Knicks, I'm like, oh my God, we should trade for a point guard.
When I was telling my dad at first about Tavares and my feeling on it, he's like, what, are you kidding me? Like, you got to stay with your team if they drafted you. Like, I believe if you're a Jet, you're a Jet for life. If you're a Met, you're a Met for life, and so on and so on. You know, which we have seen, although Mets haven't had a lot of forever players, you know, as Don LaGreca once said.
Right.
But, yeah, that's just not the reality in today's sports. And now you're going to see way more of guys asking to be traded. You're even seeing it in hockey. Look what happened with Pierre-Luc Dubois. Asked to get traded. I don't like it here. They sent him to Winnipeg. So in every sport,
I agree with you, Caleb, but fans do it to the sense that we hop on Twitter. And we start imagining what our teams would look like if they traded for this one or that one.
Without fans, sports would be nothing, though.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying that we don't have the patience to say,
hey, gotcha.
Let's just let it develop. Let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater just to please
absolutely
one part of the organization. I don't get that part of it, but I get where Kayla's going because it has to do with the CBA and it has to do with money. It has to do with all those things, which I'd like to talk about on this show, but I don't really want to bore you with the minute details of how all this works. All I'll say is it's
all that stuff.
Oh yeah. It's unfortunate that that's the way sports is perceived. Sports is perceived as, oh, it's a business. That's how it works, and you can't. Now it's about, you know, making the most money you can, and there's no loyalty in sports anymore. LeBron proved that with the decision. Then KD went to Golden State, and now it's about winning easy chips and making the most money you can. Now it ain't about being loyal to an organization. Now,
a lot is hockey, but other than that, a lot of sports.
Yeah.
But also, too, you don't get paid a lot in hockey, so Tavares took a pay cut. I mean, when he went to Toronto, that wasn't about the money. That was just about going home. But I get your point, yeah.
And, you know, and it sucks because, look, I'm the first guy to report on a trade rumor if it happens. Look at my Twitter feed, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I'm the first guy that does it. But they don't care about right, and that's what it boils down to. It's a money situation. Like, look, I'll be honest with you. I think this is what I think. I think Deshaun's not going to get traded until they absolutely know it's beneficial for them cap-wise to trade him. They're not going to do it now because it makes no sense for them cap-wise.
Right.
I'm saying from the standpoint that you look at all these teams, right? And you're like, this team could afford him. This team could afford him. Like, I got to be honest. There was a list today. I don't know if you saw it. I put it up on the show page. I know we're jumping around, but this was all coinciding with what we're talking about right now. Everything in sports is all relative to what you can do for me years moving forward. It's not what you've done for me in the past. And all that doesn't matter. It's can you produce now? And I'll give you an example. Look at the all unemployed baseball team Jason Stark put up on Twitter. It does matter to a degree, Kayla, because the fans are the consumers and the fans are part of the bottom line. Does it override everything that happens in the organization? No. But I think it does matter to a degree. Look at all the guys look at all these guys that are all, I'll tell you this story. The Yankees almost didn't bring back Derek Jeter. In 2011, when he was going through his contract negotiations, they almost didn't bring him back. Do you know what Yankee fans would have done to Yankee Stadium if they didn't bring Derek Jeter back?
Yeah.
They would have. And look, you could say, it don't matter. To a degree, it matters. But I think it don't matter.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, it made me think of that was on baseball for a second because you told me the story too, and the GM at the time said the story as well in an interview. But remember when Piazza got traded to the Mets? Mm-hmm. The fans were pleading, calling in WFAN, this station, that station. You know, like we want Piazza, we want, and we're very consistent.
Right.
And eventually, right, that's how the trade pretty much happened.
It got done, right.
I mean, that wasn't the only factor, but the fans, right, do you believe played a pretty big part in that?
Of course the fans play a big part in it. Now, the thing that, if I could play devil's advocate and go to the other side, tell me what you think about this. Tell me if you think I'm crazy. So my feeling is fans are huge. Fans are a big part in sports. I get it. You're the fan. I'm the journalist. We see things differently in that regard. However, and this is the biggest however I got. My however is this. Sometimes I think it becomes harder for organizations to always do what they want to do because you're always going to have to answer to a select group of fans who care about what they care about than what's best for the organization. I'll give you an example. I'm going through it now with Brett Gardner. Yankee fans are dying for Brett Gardner to come back.
Right, where you're like, you know what? Maybe it's time for you to go.
I don't care. I don't care whether he comes back or not.
You don't have a feeling on it, though, at all?
I don't care.
Or a preference?
No. Get me a younger
the whole team. Who we kidding? Except Gleyber Torres and Garrett Cole. Is that accurate? Aaron Judge got to go. Sanchez got to go.
Yeah.
You don't get connected with players either. So, yeah, no. You'll fire them a week later if they ain't doing nothing. Who we kidding?
No, I don't know about a week later.
All right, that was a little dramatic.
Like, Gardner's 37. How many more years have we got him being productive?
Yeah.
Okay? I get I get all of that. Clubhouse presence, and I get that. Fabric of the organization, was there for the last championship, plays a big part. Yankee fans love him. You know what? To me, you're 37, whoop-de-doo, don't want to pay you anymore. Nice seeing you. We'll bring you back for old timers there and retire your joys. Other than that, I got sports is a young man's game. And, Yankee fans are like, oh, this sucks. And so I'm like, bro, he's 37, fam. He's not 27 going into 37, bro. I'm out. I'm out. How could you say that? He's been the glue. Yeah, he's been the glue, but 37, bro.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You got to retire at this point. What's up here? Let's go, Jets!
Hey, buddy. What's going on, man? Like, let me ask you, John. You're a Yankee fan. Do you care?
John's a big Brett Gardner guy.
You see? So he's probably upset.
I think, right, John? You're a big Brett Gardner fan?
And I love Brett Gardner, don't get me wrong. That's my guy. But
You
I'm like,
want him back, John, or will you be okay if he retired or the Yankees, got
if
rid of
he's fired, then it's different. But he's going to play somewhere else. I think, anyway.
I'm curious. By the way, John, I was asking John, he thinks the Yankees are going to end up in second or third place in the AL East this year.
I disagree.
You think they're winning the division?
Hands
Really?
down. Hands down.
You're usually the one out of the it's going to be hard this year. I don't know.
So for me to say that, what does that tell you? What does that tell you?
Why do you think they're going to win it? Because Toronto improved.
Toronto's offense is their offense is unbelievable, but they can't pitch for nothing. Boston's kind of and Baltimore's like full on rebuild mode. If the Yankees just don't win the division based on the teams they got in that division, then we don't need to be talking about this then. To be honest with you.
All right, so he's with you. He'd be all right with him going.
And I love Brett. That'll hurt me to see him playing somewhere else. Just don't sign in the American League East, though. We're good. We're good. But, it comes a point in time where it's like, hey, you can't, you know? And look, I'll give you this. If this was a former rounder, Big Dog would be, we better re-sign that guy.
Matt Martin, I was like praying he came back. But I knew eventually, like, they ain't going to let him go.
Nah, right?
Nah. He's going to retire around to that guy.
With that said, I think the Yankees find a way to bring him back. I do.
Toronto was stupid for letting Matt Martin go and barely playing him. So,
yeah. But they're allergic to defense and hard hitting up there, so that goes along with that goes along with everything we've seen. But I'm saying, like, all right, can I ask you this question?
Sure.
You love the Islanders.
Yes.
You love them. They're your boys.
Love them. Passionate fan.
Do you know when it's the end of the line and you're still like, I got to ride with the guy because that's my guy?
I mean, I'm probably the wrong person to ask this, but no, I mean, I would want to see them play as long as they possibly can, but like if they're at the end of the line and like they got to retire, then I'd be like, I love you, but you may have to retire.
They were still playing. And they still had a little bit of juice left, but you see the end of the line coming. Do you like that?
I'll just be honest. Who are we kidding? I'd want to see them play until they just physically cannot anymore.
So you're not going to trade
the fourth line. I want the fourth line to stay together, like as long as they possibly can.
You see, yeah. You're the wrong person to ask this because I would have broken it up years ago.
No, you can't do that. Look at the chemistry they got.
Even they're all 90. But you're going to need prosthetic kneecaps, and then you're going to be
you take one of those guys off that line. It's all. Nah, you can't.
You see, you fall in love.
You got to just keep giving Clutterbuck, shots in a kneecap. He'll be all right.
You see, you fall in love. Me, I'm heartless.
Yeah, no.
I admit it.
I'm connected to these guys, man.
There ain't nothing wrong with being connected, but at least I admit it. I'm ruthless. I'm not trying to hide that fact.
Yeah, you want Aaron Judge gone. And
you're not playing well for me. What am I gonna do? He's been hurt more than he plays.
Yeah, his numbers though are ridiculous when he is healthy.
Yeah, but that's a big what if. And that's my fear is I love Aaron Judge.
Mm-hmm.
My fear is you go in 5 years, you give him the big money, and he's another Giancarlo Stanton, and you're just like, what the hell did I do that for?
Right.
What did I do that for?
Yeah.
And here's the other thing, right? The Mets are gonna have to have this conversation too. Because how long do you ride with Jacob deGrom? I love Jake. I think he's the best pitcher in the sport.
Him too. You got to ride it out till he can't throw anymore.
You see now. If I'm the Mets, I'm looking to trade him now already. Because I see the downturn.
Damn.
But that's how I think. I think, man, we only got a couple more years in the arm. End of the season, gotta go.
Yeah, can't. But hey, everyone's got their own way of thinking.
But I got a business mind, though. I don't think like normal people do. I'm heartless.
Sign DJ and get turn.
Taijuan Walker is actually linked to the Mets right now. If Taijuan Walker goes to the Mets, that would be
interesting.
I've
never heard of him. Is he a good player?
He's very, very young. He's a young pitcher. He hasn't been untapped. He hasn't been tapped yet. If he gets in there with a Jake and the crew they got in there, you might unlock something special with that kid. I'm kind of envious. I think he could be pretty Janqui, to be honest. For those who don't know what Janqui is, it's just it's our way of saying that could be really good.
Janqui. Since we're on the baseball front, what is any update on the players union and the league? What's going on with that? I know the schedules all came out for all 30
now. Yes.
It's looking like the season's going to get started on time, but in terms of, let's say, the next couple of years after this one, what's like the World Baseball Classic, all that stuff that you enjoy? How are you feeling about it?
That I get up at 4:30 in the morning for like a bad day.
Yeah, that.
Go ahead.
Well, like I would do that for the World Cup and soccer or something like that, so I can't judge.
I mean, you have.
But what's your opinion on it, and what are you hearing? Because I'm kind of curious about this. What's going to happen going forward after the season? Because you were saying it last year too. Like, yeah, it's looking like they're going to get this season, meaning 2021, underway, but 2022 is that you still feeling the same, or?
I'm feeling less optimistic now than I was at any point ever.
Damn. Even more than last year when you first told me? Damn.
They hate each other. All right. You don't watch baseball worth a damn. You even admit it. I'm not judging you for it. It's that cake.
You're right.
Let's have a fair.
You gotta be honest with the viewers. I barely watch baseball or.
Let's have a family conversation at the virtual dinner table, because we're not together, but virtually, right? If you can't agree on the universal DH, and God knows I don't want to see pitchers hitting 3 times a game anymore. It's a waste, a mind-numbing experience. That's an instant pre-break or go get something to eat when a pitch is hitting. That's all. If you both know you want the universal DH, then what are we still doing here playing with our fingers? What are we doing?
Doing here?
Do that again. What are you, as the great Robert De Niro said, are you stupid or something? Are you stupid? Are you loony? There's something up here that don't work. You're whistling 2000 and you're not hearing correct.
Are you stupid or something?
You both want the same thing, don't you? So get together like a group of freaking mature men that are all millionaires and billionaires and got more money than you know what to do with, and get the universal DH done for both leagues. Because that is a bunch of garbage. And then you hear, well, We can't agree on the salary cap parameters. Big dog, they can't even agree if it's sunny outside.
Outside.
One person says, it's gonna pour rain. The other, not that bad. Mm-hmm. Can we come to terms? And I'm gonna say this: we're headed for a lockout. We're headed that way because they don't care about the integrity of the game. All they want to do is line their pockets with money. Look how long it took them to get a season in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah, it didn't start till late July.
And the commissioner had to unilaterally implement the 60 games. They didn't come to that Jesus meeting by themselves. They were kicked in the ass. All right, go. You gotta go. You ever heard the saying? You got a nice kick swift in the ass. That's what they got. Both sides. They didn't come to that willingly. They were like, listen, you either play the 60 games or
gotta go.
Wrap it up because I'm not farting around with you here. Like, Commissioner Manford wasn't going to just say, yeah. And honestly, it's going to, and look, they can't agree on the universal DH. They agreed on the veto COVID protocols, or veto, as we like to call them.
Yeah.
They agreed on that, so that's good for the health and safety of the sport. But everything else is a fight. Everything else is a fight. What the baseball-related income will look like? What is this one going to look like? What are we doing with this? Should the World Series be played in a neutral site? Should it be played in a home ballpark? Can we come to some sort of an agreement here? Can we come to like, all right, I can't have this, but I'll give you that. No? Okay. So that's where me, the baseball psycho who loves it, who stays up, as the great Don LaGreca says, because things are happening tonight. I stay up like a psycho.
By the way, happy birthday, Donnie Pucks.
There you
birthday
go.
Saturday.
But I'm ready to throw my hands up and say, you know what? It is what it is. I'm out. Not out on the sport, just out on the negotiation.
I hear you.
Just call me when there's baseball on, because then I'll come watch. But I'm not gonna. They sound like. This is why I love him, because he tells me to my face, there's some greedy, rich, baseball players. I mean, we can't say it on the show because there might be kids watching, but I mean, I already said I dropped that F-bomb and a kick in the ass, but we don't want to go any further than that.
Yeah, one F-bomb per show.
Yeah, and I already hit the limit. No, but it's I'm like, are you kidding me with this? What are we doing here? That's why I love him, because he tells me, your sport, they're full of bags. They're all bags.
Yeah, I tell him what's wrong with the sport to his face, but
as they say on The Sopranos, you've got some, you know what? I'll clean it up. I'll say you got some panache.
There you go.
Because there's a couple other words that I would like to use, but I can't. It sucks, man. It sucks. And that's why I get why you love hockey, because they're not money hungry. They love the sport.
No, and I told you, I think I said it maybe on the show or in a private conversation off the air, but you know how I'm always, and look, I would still love for hockey to get more attention, but in a way it's kind of a nice thing, like, because when you meet another hockey fan or like me, an Islander fan, because there ain't that many of us, even in New York, it's like a Jesus moment, like, oh my God, like you're an Islander fan? Yeah, wow, you like hockey too? Like it's, it's like a small little tight-knit community, and it's
got his own hockey.
The players are money hungry. Hockey has its certain traditions and its own. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like separate from all the other sports. I don't know.
No, I hear you. I just think it's unfortunate that.
But it should be. I still believe wholeheartedly that it should be discussed way more on ESPN or radio stations in whatever market it might be, whether here in New York, LA, Chicago, forget it, because it's a pretty big hockey town. When the Blackhawks are good, they'll talk hockey. But yeah, I mean, like I tell Stefan, the way I get my hockey news, I listen to Canadian radio. And, I'll listen to like an Islander podcast to get more news and stuff. Because that's really the only way. They rarely, and Donnie Pucks has his podcast, which is good. Because he wants to talk more hockey. He hates it on the K show that they can't talk more. But, he was like, let me do this podcast so the hockey fans can go somewhere to listen to someone talking hockey. But yeah, it's all about the team in hockey. It ain't, I mean, you'll have your players who are, about themselves, but it's not really likely. It's not a big thing where they're prima donnas in the league, or that's another thing I love about it. Like this one commercial they show a lot where it's like players and a post game or whatever, and whether you win or lose, it's always we. It's never like I don't know. It's a cool thing about hockey.
So there's no egos in hockey, is what you're saying.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word.
Yeah,
no real egos.
I hear you. And for the most part, you're right. I just think that, there's no me in hockey. It's always we and us, and how can we get better?
Yeah.
And I think that's missing from sports, honestly.
And how we played, like after a win, like we did this, and this well, or, and they always talk about their teammates, like how well the goalie played or how well so-and-so played. It's not like, I had 2 goals and an assist tonight, or they'll talk about somebody else. Like even a small play they made, but that could change the impact of a game.
Right.
Which can happen in any sport. I'm not saying that. But in hockey, they definitely like to include the whole team.
Right. Speaking of including the whole team, let's go here for a second, and then we'll go back to some hockey, whatever else you got.
Yeah, I got some things
all right
on the note sheet.
But all I'll say is, so as much as I'm dreading this comment that I'm about to say, I'm going to say it. If the Brooklyn Nets are healthy and all systems go, and they end up with a big man, they're coming out of the East. And I don't even think it's close.
He's admitted it. Oh, my God. Breaking news. Stefan thinks the Nets are going to the NBA Finals.
If they get a big man and they keep scoring the way they...
Uh-oh. I never thought I'd hear this, because your hatred for the Nets, it's getting close to North Carolina level. Although that ain't fair, because the things you said about North Carolina, you can't say them on the show. I mean, But you hate Brooklyn. I mean, I would say for you would be NC number 1. I'd say maybe Pittsburgh Steelers 2, and then Nets 3.
Right.
Your top 3, is that fair to say?
Yep.
Okay.
So for me to admit this is pretty big. After what I saw them do to the Golden State Warriors, like, if they get a big, it's over. They get a big and they're all healthy and everybody's playing together. The only thing that can stop them is injuries, and Kevin Durant's gonna miss the next 2 games with a hamstring. So hopefully he comes back healthy. And let me be honest, before he got hurt with this latest hamstring, Kevin Durant looked like Kevin Durant again. I mean, your man scoring on people is just like Thanks. He's back to being thanks.
Yeah, but the hatred to see in your eyes, it's warms my soul.
But hatred or not, I gotta admit it.
Right? Like what we said about Brady last week. Much as we might hate the dude.
Hatred or not, I gotta admit it. That guy is unbelievable.
Yep.
They are, but they're not Brooklyn Net good. The Brooklyn Nets are a goddamn cheat code.
When is the next time the Knicks play the Nets?
I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. Speaking of the Knicks are on in 15 and a half minutes.
Oh, man, we got both that teams on tonight?
Yeah. Listen, I treat Knick games now like events. Like I gotta be.
With the Islanders, because there's only 56 of them. So
yeah, you gotta treat the Knicks games like events now. Speaking of events, unfortunate turn of events for Laker Nation. Anthony Davis re-aggravated his Achilles tendinosis, which is said to be worse than tendonitis, so that is not good. Hopefully, he's able to come back healthier sooner rather than later. He got hurt yesterday in the game against the Nuggets. Hopefully, he is healthy, because if he's not, the Lakers to the finals doesn't seem too for shy.
Damn.
As much as LeBron is defying the odds at 36, I don't really know how you get past that injury.
And he ain't never reaching GOAT level.
I didn't say all that. I'm not trying to start nothing. I didn't say all that.
I'm just speaking truth.
Hey, we're gonna give him time. I just don't know, because the thing about tendinosis is that means there's something wrong in the Achilles. There might be a small tear in there. Is from what I understand what tendinosis is. It means that the Achilles itself is more susceptible to a tear than if it was just a strain. So you're just praying that he comes back out. And plus, I love seeing Anthony Davis ball. I don't want to see anybody injured, and I think injuries suck in all sports. But hopefully he comes back healthy and he feels good. Speaking, two more NBA things, and then I'm done, and then we get back to hockey, because this guy got a crap load of stuff, and I'm interested to talk about it all.
Yeah, and I need your opinion on what you think about the new Penguins hiring. I'm curious, since you got
that. Two things: Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond are set.
Playing Blake Griffin? 90. I mean, not that I follow basketball, but I remember him. He was on the Clippers, right? Like years ago?
Like 100 years ago, yeah.
How old is he now?
About 32, 33.
All right, not as old as I thought.
So in basketball terms, he's about 78.
Almost at the 80. Getting to 90, though. Getting up there. The new Pap soon are going to start.
No, they already started. He can't jump anymore. He's like, I can't do this. Nah. So him and Andre Drummond are either said to be traded or released in the next couple of weeks, because they're trying to find trades for them both. Mm-hmm. I don't think they will, because Blake Griffin's cap hit is $36 million this year and $39 million next year. So I don't think anybody takes on that contract. I do know if the Nets get either one of those big men, especially Andre Drummond, I hate to admit it, but it might be au revoir.
Nets Clippers and Nets Lakers final.
Oh, God.
Brooklyn versus LA.
You know who I'm rooting for?
LA.
All day long. Anyway, let's get to your hockey stuff, because I know you got a crap ton, so.
Yes, I do. A lot of stuff here. So the Penguins made some news last week about
last week
a new front office hire, two of them actually. Brian Burke, as president of hockey operations, who recently was an analyst on Sportsnet up in Toronto, and
Mhm.
also would appear on Hockey Central, the radio show on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Mhm.
And Ron Hextall, Flyers goalie legend, is going to the other side of the state of Pennsylvania to work for the enemy. His father actually did play for Pittsburgh way back in the day. But just to go over their resumes quick, and then I'll break it down. So Brian Burke actually has a ton of history in front offices. He was the director of hockey ops for Vancouver. He was the GM of the Hartford Whalers for a year. He was the executive VP and director of hockey ops under Gary Bettman in the NHL offices in Manhattan. He was the general manager of the Canucks. He was the GM of the Anaheim Ducks when they won the Stanley Cup back in 2007. He was the president and GM of the Maple Leafs. He was the president of hockey operations for the Calgary Flames, and he was also in a front office role for USA Hockey a few times.
Wow.
The guy's a ton of front office experience. And Ron Hextall, after he retired from the Flyers, he was a scout for them. He was a director of professional player personnel, vice president and assistant GM of the Kings. He was a general manager for the Manchester Monarchs, who are an AHL affiliate of the Kings. He was an assistant GM of the LA Kings in 2012 when they won the Stanley Cup.
Wow.
He was the assistant.
This guy's got a longer resume than the friggin' president of the United States.
Assistant GM of the Flyers, and then promoted to GM of the Flyers. Then they fired him. So, and apparently there was kind of bad blood there. So he actually wanted to go to Pittsburgh. That was one of the teams he wanted to work for them.
Well, hey now.
So yeah, Kayla was not really so happy that day.
Wow.
And the funny thing is, too, Brian Burke, way back in the day, actually played for a AHL affiliate of the Flyers called the Maine Mariners. They're not the Flyers affiliate anymore, but he played for – by the way, I'm actually reading his biography book, really good. And Ron Hextall, like I said, played, for the Flyers for so many years. Best goalie in their history, for sure. And really, to break it down, I think these two guys, just based on their resumes and their history, their smarts for the sport of hockey and talent evaluating. I mean, like when I would listen to Brian Burke, like when he'd be on Hockey Central, I'd want to really tune in, because just the way he describes the players and breaks it down, it's really good. Like you would love it, because he really breaks it down into little intricacies and things they do and things they're good at. And Ron Hextall, was a scout. He has a ton of experience. Both have won Stanley Cups. So they have a ton of experience in the National Hockey League and just the sport in general. And for a team like Pittsburgh, this is, I hate it because, I hate the Penguins, but they got two really smart hockey guys. And now this can suddenly revamp. Everyone was like, yeah, Pittsburgh might be on the decline. Is Malkin going to stay a Penguin?
I was going to ask you, how much longer do you think this opens up their window to compete? And do you think they make some true trades where maybe you get rid of a Malkin, but you get back some younger pieces to put around Crosby to keep his window open so he can grow with a young cast of characters?
Yeah, I think this can potentially now open the door back up for the Penguins, possibly. I'm not saying they'll win a Stanley Cup, although, you don't know.
Right.
But this can certainly, I think, depending on what moves they just got there. So, but I'm sure they're definitely talking and thinking of, all right, what moves are we going to do? Who are we going to trade?
Right.
Who we get back? So, for sure.
Because hearing you go through that list, it sounds like they revamped their front office for an extended run. That's what it feels like. And
right? Just according to these guys' resumes. I mean,
we're not ready to like fold up the tent yet and go home. We want to make sure we get an extended run in here. Excuse me, to see how Crosby and Malkin and we get some younger cats around these guys. Maybe we'll be able to compete. That's a scary thought if you're anybody other than a Penguin fan. But if you're a Flyer fan, you gotta hate this. You gotta be all out. I'm not with it. This is not what I signed up for. I gotta admit it. I applaud it because I would have done something like that.
Especially if there was bad blood with it, and you're like, let me.
Just to win a cup from the team across the Allegheny, I'd have been like, you know what? You treated me bad on the way out, so here's it.
Don't let Taylor hear this. I'm
just saying, I would have did it. I'm petty.
Taylor, if you're still watching, comment. Let us know your thoughts.
I'm petty. I would have done it. You know I'm petty. You know it.
Done it. You would have did it.
And then would have been laughing the whole way. Oh, you want to get rid of me, eh?
And Hextall, like in his interviews, like, I'm happy to be a part of the organization. He was like, he wanted to be there. And I'm like, yo, when fans are back you're going to get booed so badly. And the things they're going to chant about you, which I'm sure he knows that's coming. I mean, that's no secret in Philly.
Listen, they boo Santa Claus, so they'll boo you.
And threw snowballs at him. I mean, yeah, Hextall, your best goalie in your team's history goes to the other. That would have hurt me.
And says I'm
okay. Even I felt like, damn, that's gotta hurt.
He even said, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. Didn't he say something like
Penguins?
Didn't he say something like, I want to win one for the city of Pittsburgh? He said something to that effect. He was like, I want to help Sid get back to the top of the. I'm like, oh. Yeah, way to alienate Flyer fans. Good Lord.
Yeah, if they got Hextall jerseys, those definitely got burned, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I cannot wait, though.
Now I want to watch the game with the fans in the building just to see what they do.
Oh, my. Imagine being there. We should take a trip to Philly, get some cheesesteaks.
Hey, that's an excuse to get fat and eat some cheesesteaks.
And then go in the game.
I'm for it.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
But, yeah, this, I think, has opened the door for Pittsburgh again.
Uh-oh.
He hates the Flyers, James. I mean, being a Devil fan, you gotta.
If Kayla's still watching this,
there might be some fireworks, see.
Because those are fighting voids. Oh, as the kids say, hey, he wants all that smoke, yes.
On the score. There you go.
You got any more, Forrest? You got any more hockey updates?
A couple more things. I just want to watch this replay quick. Oh, beautiful setup. See, getting the puck to the front of the net. Bailey with the pass. Bailey. Holy crap. Finally.
Hold on. Hell must be freezing over. It's snowing in Memphis. The Knicks are a competent basketball team, and you said something nice about Josh Bailey on the show. It's a 2021. It's officially a weird year.
Very. Yeah, passed it right to Lee, and Lee deflected it in. All right.
Oh, my God. He said something nice about Josh Bailey. I never thought I'd
a few more things. Actually, a couple Islander things, too. Barry and Lou on a very prestigious list. But Patrick Laine only has 2 points so far. That was the other thing I wanted to get into.
Wait.
Because he got benched.
I want to get to that.
By Torts.
Now I don't think this was a Luke Dubois issue. Now I think it's a Torch issue. Because Liner just got there and you're already benching him? Damn, you didn't even let the honeymoon last 2
I
weeks?
believe it was because he mouthed off to a coach or something, and then he got benched.
Bruh. There's a reason for that. It's the culture that John Tortorella creates that he makes these players feel like, That's the type of culture he creates. I don't know if I want to play for that guy. You know me, I'm all for playing for jerks if we win, but he just seems like he's not fun to play for at all.
Nah.
At all. The honeymoon didn't even last 2 weeks. Well, hot damn.
Things could implode in Columbus.
Good. Get the wrecking crew in there because the bomb might detonate at any minute. Yes.
And congratulations to Barry Trotz and Louis Lamoriello. Barry Trotz, third all-time in wins of any NHL coach in history with 851 wins. And Lou Lamoriello, also third all-time among GMs with 1,300 wins in his career for Louis Balls.
Well, hot damn. Hot damn. Before we go, I just want to read something off our Twitter page.
Sure.
I did post a poll today. And the poll was, as I pull it up here, the poll was wow, we got 16 votes on this poll.
There you go.
With both Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin hitting the trade and potential buyout market, you wonder if the Celtics and Nets are the logical fits for Griffin and Drummond, respectively. I put agree or disagree, and 75% of the viewers agreed that those are two logical destinations. So we appreciate your votes, 16 votes. We're going to put more polls up in the future so you guys can vote on these polls. Now, these polls are going to be Twitter exclusive. Twitter only. So follow us on Twitter if you want to be part of the polls. And we might even put some topics up there that we want to discuss on future shows. We're going to leave it in your hands.
Yep.
So if you follow us on Twitter, go vote on some of these polls. We'll put the polls up. Me and Big Dog We'll do some research for you, but you got to follow us on all the social media polls. I'm sorry to cut you off, Big Dog. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. No, those are the last two things. Also, the Islanders 3-0-1 in that last 4 games.
Playing
Playing
hockey news here. Joe Thornton casually picks up a primary assist in his first game, in his first shift back from injury.
Wow. Jumbo Joe.
This according to Chris Johnston, a Sportsnet.
2-0. That's it. Keep it up.
So we're gonna keep you guys updated.
Boy JG scored.
Parlez-vous!
Oh my God. I gotta send you this goal. Oh my God. Right in the toy department, as Butch Goring would say. Right above the goal. That was nice. Uh-oh.
No, I don't. And Brady proved it by winning one in Tampa without Belichick.
Tom, you keep trying to convince us, Skip. I know Rodgers is your boy.
I love you, but that's
me and Stefan ain't gonna budge on that topic. Yeah, Brady is the GOAT. I mean, even if you put Rodgers in New England, I can't. Brady is still a better court. Even with Rodgers' skill set, which is amazing, I still think Brady's better.
It comes down to this. It comes down to the old noodle. If you can outthink, you can outwin, or you can outlast. And Brady was never the most talented, but he was always the smartest. always the smartest. I
We
feel like Ralph Freeman.
Manning in New England. Brady's just.
Brady, listen, honestly, I think you could put anybody in New England, and I don't think they would have as much success as Brady had in New England. The system, the way built, it was all built for him. It was all built perfect for him. I was just asking that, right? We appreciate
Skip.
We appreciate the question. Nah, but I don't think it would matter, to be honest. Anyway, that's gonna wrap us up. We've been blabbering on like two. We've just been blabbering for a minute and 10 for an hour. For an hour and 10 minutes, just blabbering and blabbering and blabbering.
By the way, that's one of the best Honeymooner episodes.
Your mother is a blabberman. If you call that, I might just leave here tonight with my mom.
Remember, he's sitting at the table, and then she tells the ending gonna play. He was gonna go see,
and he's like,
He flips out,
and the clock runs out.
Oh, Honeymoon is true classic.
Oh yeah, yes indeed. Oh man. All right. Later, guys. See you Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Back and better than ever. Big Dog, this was a blast.
It was fun. Excuse me.
And we'll pack soon.
All right.
All right.